We hopped into this game 1 minute in, and 1 minute in, we already see both teams planning something fishy. But hey, hopefully we didn't miss too much action. We'll go over the matchups here. Top lane GP going up against Galio. Jungle. Oh, jungle I misswapped. No wonder. Jungle Irel. No, Jungle Shyvana, who is about to be caught here in a 2v3. Galio's immediately going to channel the taunt, but he is going to be brought low, killed off here by the Nautilus, but on the bottom side, red team retaliates in kind. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade overall. Wait, 2-for-1? What happened? Well, I'm sure we can worry about it later. It's going to be a 2-man invade. This 2-man invade completely spotted out on that ward. They might want to kill that ward first, but no, this is going to be a huge fight. It's a Vladimir level 1 doing absolutely no damage. He has no transfuse stacks. Red team is going to turn onto the Vladimir. He has to try to run away. Flashes and Nimbus Cloak going to buy him some time. Meanwhile, the blue team just comes in, sweeps up the red buff, and takes on out of there the jungle Nocturne up against the jungle Irel. The mid lane matchup is going to be Vladimir against Irelia. I cannot even finish calling out the matchups because the fight's still going on. Irelia is going to be feared off and killed off. The GP laughing all the way to the bank. It's going to be 1 CS to almost nothing. Also, I'm pretty sure that's just Irel top. I'm going to send the Galio mid. Irel's going to channel her TP back up top, and GP gets to start the lane with 2-0 lead. Nocturne coming in for a level 2 gank on the mid lane. To force out nothing, actually. Vladimir will TP back, and now laning seems like it will resume as Shyvana level 1 buffless, going to have to take the Krugs. Gonna be a pretty slow route for her regardless. It is AP as well, given the presence of Dark Harvest. So there's that. Syndra bot Nautilus support against Ezreal Karma. It's a matchup that I haven't even talked about because there's been so much action topside. The grass proc steals away some life from the Irel. GP was a 2-kill lead. The first time he goes back, he's gonna come back and be pretty strong. As long as nothing disastrous happens here, as long as he doesn't like give a kill over to Irel or something. For the present moment, Irel is stronger. She did have the opportunity to back to actually spend her kill goal, but she tanks 2 tower shots, and that means the lane state is at an equilibrium. But in the jungle, there's yet another fight. It's just a fight that keeps on giving. The Nocturne is going to smite away the Scuttle and going to take the buff as well. The Galio cannot win that fight. He will be taken down. The level of this flex game is somewhere around the Platinum range. And so far early on, we do see so many skirmishes. Most of them going in blue team's favor, but for the most part, still a very tight game. GP is being forced back. He is going to channel the teleport, or else he's going to lose it too many minions. What does he buy? He insta-buys the Sheen. That's a pretty good laning leverage. With the Sheen in hand, he can do quite a bit of early on damage. Vladimir going to go ahead and try to get some life procs off. He is actually bullying the Galio quite a bit on account of the fact that Galio has actually died twice. Granted, neither of those 2 deaths was to the Vladimir, but it did put him behind EXP wise by quite a bit. Karma is gonna flash in with the ignite. Vlad cannot possibly escape. He has been set on fire. His only hope is to kill off the Galio, but he cannot. The aftershock will probably buy him enough defenses to survive the minions as well. Galio will get the return kill and make it out. Karma will flash in for it. So far, Nocturne sitting in a worded brush to try to jump on the Karma. She is unfazed, getting the root down. The Galio comes into turn. Nocturne giveth, Nocturne taketh, and suddenly Galio has just won the mid lane with a surprise twist. In the bot lane, Syndra, a completely balanced ADC, going to go up against the Ezreal with double Doran's Rings for some early game damage. Nocturne will provide the CC, and Syndra will provide all the damage in the world. Meanwhile, top lane GP, he's equalized the CS. It's Sheen to Vamp Scepter, and I give the edge to Sheen every single time. Both champions want an early Triforce, but for Irel, it's more like Blade of the Ruined King nowadays. GP just going to go ahead, farm up some minions. Even game so far. Vladimir still farming up mid. The omnipresent ticking time bomb. If he gets going, the game's over. Galio does have double buffs, gonna land a ton of punishment onto the Vlad. Ooh, teaching him why he shouldn't just mess around with people and get super pushed up during the very early game. Almost killing him outright with one burst. TP is coming down here from the Syndra. He is gonna come up, try to force this gank. She's level 4. Irel's level 5. Not sure if he can even force this kill to happen, but TP has been committed as well as the flash. I'm not sure if that kill was possible if the Syndra was only level 6. Level 4 rather, but she needed to be level 6 for that gank to be guaranteed to work. But for now, it is going to be GP ultimate committed and both of Syndra's summoners, and it trades out the Irel's flash. Nocturne down bot is going to get a kill onto the support. It was traded away with the dragon taken by the Shyvana. Shyvana's just rotating top lane now. And the Ezreal is also not long for the world, but Nautilus will be the one to pick that kill up as well. Double kill to the support. Seven minutes, 20 seconds. Galio gonna bash out the turret here. Tides of Blood will get cancelled up. Oh, Vladimir, he's taking so much pain! With the pool to finish a combo, doing even more damage to himself and negating absolutely none. Tornado doing a number on him. There's still 20 seconds left until the pool. He needs to be very careful here. Galio is gonna get that solo kill. It is prophesized. However, the Hemo Plague, oh, it will snap and it will get him the kill. Galio's overdive does result in a shutdown. The killing spree drops over to the Vladimir. Killing spree. Ha, I did just say that. It's 13k to 12.3. Very even. Ooh, Nocturne. One hit away from killing the ward. He'll compensate for it with a sweeper. And there it is. The Hex Flash with the Nautilus. The stun combo is there, but it seems like Syndra actually whiffed the E or something because the Karma just didn't seem like she was stunned at all. Just going to walk away. I think Syndra E missed? I can't tell, but the Karma was clearly not stunned. I didn't even know a point blank ball could miss, but hey. Seems like at that angle was pushed into a wall as opposed to Karma, but there it is. There is the stun they were looking for. Nautilus does get that early kill onto the Karma. Now Irel has rotated mid lane, which is a strange move because Dragon's not up for another 3 minutes and they've abandoned top lane in its entirety. This is the kind of rotation you do when you want to secure control over a side on a map. But right now, even if you secure bot side control, you're not getting anything out of it and you have one completely unfarmed lane up top. Irelia knows this, she's going to go back up. I wonder why they did this movement because Dragon's not up. Dragon's not up, they're not starting the dive. In fact, they're getting pushed in at bot lane. What a weird rotation, and this is going to cost her. Irel is falling super far behind in CS. GP is one of those champions that can always do a ton of damage for free. A beautiful depth charge interrupting the dash in from the Galio, but it's not enough. Nocturne will be killed off here. Nautilus needs to try to spider knot his way out, but it's too little, too late. He probably won't make it out. The Galio crashes down. Gonna take that kill for himself. Syndra presses the outplay button onto the Shyvana. Is it enough? Yes, it is. The alley-oop from the ball dunks her onto her head. Syndra's gonna get one back onto the jungler, a 1-for-1 trade overall. But red team, they committed so many more people to make that play happen. And once again, because of the lack of global objectives and the inability to make a push happen off of trade, they come out the losers. They've assigned more people for an even outcome and therefore fell behind overall. And so far, a lot of red team's plays have been converted with some really inefficient outcomes, and this might just be another one. The paranoia does get procced, the trigger is pulled, and Nocturne takes another kill and bot lane. 10:30 into the game. Blue team has a very marginal lead, but it is slowly ballooning out. They have definitely extended it by a dramatic degree over just the past minute. It is not game-blowing open level of lead, but it is high enough that it's gonna get concerning here for red team. Red team's draft is really a draft that wants to dominate in the early mid-game phase here. Irel's mid-game is absolutely terrifying, and so is the Shyvana. The Ezreal is always late game insurance here against the Syndra, but for now, they're falling behind early, which makes it harder and harder for them to transition into a mid-game phase, where ideally their solo laners are the strongest. Of course, in the late game, I don't think Red Team can actually match the Vladimir GP from Blue Team, so they are playing on somewhat of a timer here. Ezreal is always a scary late game option, but it is not enough here. Iral is really relying on her mid-game spike, and that is a beautiful dredge line. It's going to connect onto the Karma. The Fear does go through. Nautilus once again takes that kill. Depth Charge gets committed. Galio, he doesn't have the flash. He can't get out that easily. Shyvana's going to come in, but she has no dragon form. She's just going to be spitting fire like out of the palm of her hand. It's just like a street magician as opposed to an actual dragon. The Flame Cracker is not enough. Meanwhile, top lane, well, not top lane, but in the mid river, the fight is still going on. Teleport is going to come down from the Vladimir. He is there. He drops the Chemo Plague onto 2, but now he needs to run the rest of the damage. He's going to flash in to confirm the rest. So far, GP up top, bowling the Aurelia, and the minions, they will come in. It finishes the job. Blue team is going to secure the first turret of the game. I do think Irelia's absence from top lane did cost her pretty severely, and you can kind of see it in full force. It is not complete the Blade of the Rune King against Triforce, and she just cannot win that. No matter what. A beautiful solo kill and first tower effort here by the Gangplank. Galio is going to start spurring tornadoes in mid again, but Vladimir, he hasn't been sufficiently put down this game. Granted, there was a solo kill. Yes, he did die 3 times. But he's matched up in CS, he's not behind in levels, and he's 1 level away from hitting a scary, scary power spike here. The game will continue for now. But right now, Blue Team is in a pretty assertive position. They definitely have the momentum and the early leads to make something work. But the Galio, he wants to force something to happen. He cannot flash while channeling the top. A simple pull will mostly dodge away the dragon form from Shyvana. She needs to try to make some more Flame Breath land. 1 more will hit onto the Nautilus, but he's a little bit too tanky. The Karma Tether is there. Galio is going to channel the hero's entrance, and here comes the hero. The hero gets immediately hooked. The Riptide is smacking onto him, slowing him down. The Vladimir will be the casualty, but Shyvana's taking tower shots. Karma will have to flash away. The Irelia is here with the ultimate, walling off the Syndra, forcing a flash. Overall, a 1-for-1 trade, both mid laners fall, but here comes the Gangplank. He is new to the fight. The ARAM has begun, and immediately caught off as soon as it has begun, really. If you heard my keyboard there, I apologize. It is for an unrelated matter. Karma, however, is going to start sweeping out some vision. They have come out of the losing end for the past several trades. In fact, most of their kills sits on the Galio mid, who is going a bit of a glass cannon build, going for Luden's Echo second. Now, Vladimir, however, has gone for the Garage Sale CDR, which is the proper early game build, almost done his proto belt. Still sitting on brown boots, but that can be remedied as well. He just needs additional income here to really take off. Dying a few times, while bad, it's not game ending for Vladimir, because as long as he's getting the EXP, he will start to scale up, and the Ignite will most certainly kill off the Nautilus. Fire beats water, tighten up the depth, getting a taste of fire, rusting the steel. Red team is going to take a mostly uncontested Ocean Drake. That's going to send the game into Infernal Rift. Oh, Infernal Drake is such a scary proposition here. If Blue team can get Infernal Drake, oh boy. Blue team does have a better scaling comp in general. If they just bide out their time, let them have the first 2 Drakes, it is entirely possible that they can do the Drake reverse sweep and just get 4 Infernals and win the game. If the game even lasts that long, Galio gets picked off here. Shyvana's gonna Dragon Form in. The Flame Breath does almost nothing here. It does chunk several people really low. The True Shot will come in as well to help do some chip. Ooh, Ezreal, his W did not connect onto the Nocturne. If it did, that would be a very dead ghost. The Luden's Echo proc does not kill off anybody either. Many bleeding health bars on Blue team. They share 500 health between 2 people. Syndra is gonna remain at mid to do some wave clearing. And the Ezreal, oh wait, I just noticed actually, Ezreal is rushing a Triforce? He's just sitting on a tier, he doesn't even pick up Manamune. And he's rushing Triforce off it. What a peculiar build path. Whoa, okay, Karma, get back down there. GP is gonna farm away some money. He is so much more ahead of the IRL, and IRL missing her ultimate does not help, but here comes the hero's entrance. Galio is gonna come here to offset the odds. The Karma is here with the Empower Shield as well. That is going to be enough to force Gangplank Splash. A little bit too many people up there for comfort. However, Nocturne is going to deploy the Herald at mid. He's going to try to draw some attention. I wonder for what. They're going to force the siege. Although they don't have any minions right now, the depth charge will go deep. And here comes the Shyvana. One smack to the back kills off the Herald. He gets only one charge off. That's a pretty low value Herald overall. It accomplishes almost nothing. Well, basically not. Functionally accomplishes nothing. It doesn't even give any extra gold to blue team. And it doesn't even kill the tower. It softens it up, sure, but it's not like that tower... It's not like that tower was gonna hold out even if the Herald didn't do the charge. If the opportunity ever presented itself. GP is going to try to make another play happen, but he's been sandwiched by 3. He's being slow. He has no oranges. It's very delayed. He's healing himself up. The Cannon Barrage is going to land the slow onto 3, and here comes the Paranoia turn. The Ezreal is so far up. What is he thinking? And here comes the teleport from the IRL, but she is going to teleport into her own friends as her enemies have already all retreated, taking 1 kill in their pocket. They dropped the body of their ADC, who right now is doing anything but carrying. Mid lane is going to lose their tier 1 turret. That is going to be the 3rd turret taken this game for blue team to 0. And now it's safe to say that red team will almost have no more map control to speak of. Shyvana's going to go ahead, claim blue red buff for herself. She knows that Ezreal's dead weight with it, even though she's an AP Shyvana build. She's not doing too hot for herself either, still sitting on brown boots. The jungler where movement speed is at a premium. Nocturne, however, he is also on brown boost, but he has an entire Duskblade done, which is contrasted to a single M-Tone. Unless the Shyvana buys something really impressive here. She's gonna upgrade her boots, get a Stinger for some attack speed and cooldown. Meanwhile, the Vladimir, instead of completing the Codex item, going to work towards a Spirit Visage, getting some defensive stats. The True Shot will just barely fly past. I don't know where the True Shot actually went, I didn't check the minimap. The Ezreal is going to finish off the Syndra, overall getting a 2 for 0 pick. Syndra does go back home, pick up Haunting Guys, and then refunded it, and then got the Oblivion Ward. The GP up top is going to finish the tower, but albeit at the cost of his own life. So blue team, they just surrender 3 bodies for almost nothing. They are going to do a 1-for-1 trade. Nocturne Suicide dives in, but here comes the Vladimir. But he's in a solo mission 1v2. Can he make this happen? It doesn't seem like the answer is yes. But no, the Galio dies halfway through the Justice Punch. Empower Transfuse as well. He's doing some huge damage onto this Ezreal. He just needs to finish it off. The Proto Belt, it is not up. But Ties of Blood and the Transfuse, it is enough. Shyvana will come in, but she doesn't have Dragon Form. She's just a human. And Vladimir will beat her in a one-on-one fight. She knows it. She's getting the heck out. And just as red team finds a 3 for nothing, it turns into a 4 for 3 as blue team re-engages with essentially nobody and still makes a positive play. Huge damage coming out from the Vladimir. He does come up huge, and that is good news for blue team. Vladimir is going to get more and more fed. He is definitely one of the bigger win conditions that blue team can play through. It does feel like a little bit of a case of too many cooks. They have a lot of people they can carry through. But lack a dominant frontline. There is Nautilus, sure, but he is not going to be that tanky in late game situations. Cannon Barrage does go down. Blue team will slay their first dragon. But here comes red team. They're going to try to pincer them out. They're going to make them surrender some bodies on their way out. The Galio is going to channel the taunt onto the Syndra and do some damage. The Nautilus will be the self-sacrificing lamb. And now the retreat is called. But IRL charges in. She wants more. Ezreal finishes her off. The Syndra will get killed off as well. That's going to be a very expensive Inferno Drake take. Blue team drops 3 bodies in order to secure this 1 dragon. Is it worth it? Only time will tell. But now red team, they can now threaten some map objectives. I think they should just go Baron, but hey, that's just me. They're all boss side. They're going to try to make this push happen, but it's not going to happen. The respawn timers are too short. Blue team are just going to respawn and come back and contest this. And there's a paranoia. It catches out onto the Shyvana. She doesn't have dragon form and she's just going to die. 1 killed off in the retreat. No objectives grabbed. They didn't even kill a tower, really. At least not a meaningful one. You can't make a push happen. Vladimir will complete the Spirit Visage. He's still sitting on brown boots, and so's the Nocturne. That makes me very uncomfortable at 21 minutes into the game. A boost upgrade is so cheap and is such an insane power spike. I do understand the need to complete items though. I am disturbed by the lack of wards being bought, or wards being stocked in the inventories of all the teams. Granted, neither team has really had a chance to full reset. There were bodies dropped in team fights now and there. But like, really, it's 22 minutes. Regrowth pod is not worth a ward slot. Syndra. She is going to be cut out here. The Shyvana will kill her off. And here comes the rest of the engage. Nautilus going to try to buy some time. Vladimir needs to get out. What is that? Transfuse and Hemoplague heal. He goes back to full health. And now he might be ready to fight again. The Empower Transfuse is up. He needs to suck somebody. And he does. He gets a huge chunk of health. And now the Tides of Blood into 4. He doesn't use it to retreat, which means he's going to be killed off. He has no allies left. The GP has been split pushing this whole game. And red team, they might now have the tools to turn for Baron. They're going to secure the Scuttle on top of a blue team ward. They know that this is what they're up to. But they also know that a lot of red teams are running on very low health bars. Can they realistically make this play happen? The game plan gonna encounter the Irelia up top. She's gonna get the stun combo and the blade wall. She gets 2 resets with her Q. That is gonna be enough damage for the solo kill to be picked up. Disrespecting Irel damage will land you an early grave as the GP learns the cold hard truth of it. Red team will have to be forced off Baron thanks to a single ward. Now Nocturne's in the back, but he is in a 1v5 situation. He finds his ticket out onto an overstaying Irel and gonna be killing her off. Beautiful escape slash kill by the Nocturne, but is it gonna be enough? He pops the stopwatch to stay on top of the fire. He's gonna nuke down the Shyvana. Syndra will pick up that kill. Karma tanks 1 more tower shot, gonna be brought to critical health. She will make it out, but albeit barely. Gonna shield herself up and get out. Red team's Baron plan has been foiled. For the most part. And in fact, every time they make a good play, they just turn around and muck it up somehow. And now it's blue team's turn onto the big purple snake. But can they make this kill happen? Red team has failed. Is it going to be any different here? Galio is coming around the rear. He's flanking on the side. The Hex Blast being channeled by the Nautilus. He does blink into the Baron pit, but here comes the TP. That means blue team have to peel off. Gonna let the Baron reset. The teleport is committed for almost nothing. Irel arrives into no fight. Yet again, what a spectacularly bad TP. I mean, it dissuades the Baron, sure, but it doesn't really convert anything. If you're just using TP to force somebody off Baron, that's not really a worthwhile trade, but the bigger objective is on the horizon. The next Inferno Drake has spawned. And Inferno Drake is squishy enough that the team who goes to kill it will probably still be able to make it to Baron in time if Retaliatory Baron was the call from the opposing side. GP gonna do what he does best, which is split push, exerting a lot of pressure as much as he can afford. And the rest of blue team, they're pushing near the pit. They already made it here, in fact. Syndra is going to go for a reset, but she's not going to make this fight in time. She's just now back at base. She doesn't have TP. She's also not going to buy a ward. It's whatever. It's honestly whatever. Who needs wards, right? Wards don't do damage. Although I must say, they're going for this setup with no pink wards remaining in their inventory. It's going to be a pretty scary dragon if you don't know what side the enemies are going to be flanking at you from. And now Syndra being cut out from the rest of her team. Red team knows that Syndra split. They're going to try to rotate up and make a catch for her. Syndra has to be pretty careful here. Oh, she's going to walk into the middle of 4, flashing over the wall right into a Galio, and there's going to be no escape for her. But during the absence, what is blue team doing? They didn't start the dragon. They weren't in position. The catch out was too fast. This is what happens when you don't set up vision properly beforehand. And dragon number 3, it's gonna go the way of red team. And come on. A freest dragon ever. The cannon barrage comes down. Will not actually get the steal. Red team will put themselves on the soul point. Inferno Soul on the horizon. Everybody should carry a ward. Just 1 pink. It's 75 gold. There are 4 entry spots into the dragon pit, and you can ward 5 of them. The math works out. The entire team is securing dragon. You will not let it go. The Vladimir, however, hasn't actually bought an item in like 10 minutes. I feel like his inventory has just been the exact same every time I looked at him. He's holding on to not a lot of gold. Seems like he hasn't been getting money then. It feels like it's been forever since I last checked his inventory, and it's still the exact same. He does have enough money to finish his shoes, which he really should get. Vladimir requires movement speed almost as much as he requires CDR. There is going to be a recall coming out from the Vlad. Please tell me he's buying tier 2 boots. Please. I'm looking at his inventory right now. That better be tier 2 boots. Oh, it was Tabai. It was Tabai for a brief second, and now it's Merctress. I'll take it. Now he's going to make his way back out. I'm really trying to save her own tier 2 tower, but it's not going to work. Tier 2 tower crumbles into dust at the might of some minions. And 27 minutes in, red team are setting up for a Drake. GP finished the Liandry's. Now Cannon Barrage. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be such a magnificent zoning tool. Does he have Fire at Will purchase? I don't think I can get that information from Spectate, right? Wait, hold on, I can. He does have Fire at Will and Death Daughter purchased. Good. So that's gonna be a very painful Cannon Barrage coming out from the Gangplank. Paranoia does land onto the Ezreal. He's isolated. He's been caught out. He needs to try to get out, but the Duskbringer trail a little bit too fast. Cannon Barrage gonna essentially be wasted, but it doesn't even matter. They get the kill onto the ADC. Shyvana Flame Breast is doing a number on blue team. Oh, another big Flame Breast, taking Syndra down to almost half. She still got Dragon Form. She wants more. He's coming back in. It's gonna whiff. Ezreal will complete the stopwatch purchase. But now blue team, they are the ones with position onto the Baron, but they have to be pretty decisive here. 2 minutes from now, Infernal Drake will spawn again, and you really want to be there within a minute just to set up. This is the sole point. If they give Infernal Soul to red team, this game might be winnable for them. They've had a very small lead since the game begun. They're not intending on letting it go anytime soon, but if you lose Infernal Soul, the goal lead is pretty much even, just because of all the effective gold that the Infernal buff confers to you. Now, if this game is pulled towards even, the red team genuinely stands a chance of winning. Nocturne is going to Paranoia in to try to make the kill happen. Irel is feared up. She's going to be sliced up. Such a delayed flash after the fear. It's gonna kill her off, and she is gonna be dead and flashless. And now blue team, they might have what it takes to start up on this Baron Nashor. It's gonna force a collapse in the response from the rest of red team. The word from over the wall, it will spot out the Ezreal trying to clear it. They know they're on the other side. They know they're waiting. The words are being dropped in, lighting the pit up like a Christmas tree. Pink word complements the trio as well. Yet another one gets dropped. There's the True Shot Barrage trying to do some damage. Vladimir gets caught in the back. He's been rooted. He needs to try to make it out. The transfuse damage is taking Shyvana. Dragon forms in. Everybody is solo. One Flame Breath is killing off everybody. And suddenly blue bodies hit the ground all over the place. 3 for 1 instantly. 2 if you count the IRL, but it doesn't even matter. Red team wins that team fight. The one Flame Breath, it could have pentakilled if she had like 20 more AP. That was just such a ridiculously good clump on several such low health house members. Dark Harvest could have done the job, honestly. That was almost a one Flame Breath penta. That was how hairy it got at one point. And blue team, they split at the last possible second, but it wasn't enough. They still dropped so many bodies. 3 cores hit the ground. It's just the top laner and the support, and this is Infernal Soul. It's not gonna be contestable. Blue team won't make it back in time. The dragon has already spawned. Red team, they just want this. They need to kill it as soon as it spawns. Karma is trying to zone people out. Where's the Ezreal? He's still top lane. Oh, he should have been down here like a eon ago. He should have been down here so long ago. Dinosaurs could be spotted down here. The word is gonna spot out the Galio's movements. The sweeper. Smart onto their tricks. But blue team knows there's at least one enemy champion hiding in that brush. Ooh, the Shyvana might be an extra surprise. The sweeper, it catches out the Nautilus. He has been forced back. Now blue team, they're all in position. They're going to try to prosper. Are they going to try to go for a GP catch? GP does shoot the Irelia in the back. Flash from the Galio. It gets denied by an instant shot back from the Syndra, and now the fight might break out. Red team, they're all clumped. Cannon Barrage Edge is doing some chip damage to them. Galio's half health. He gets outplayed by the Syndra, but he's still alive for now. Syndra, it has to run away from this massive dragon. Shyvana has been forced back as well, but in the backline, Nocturne is trying to wreak some havoc, but it's not enough. The Irelia Brave Wall, it cuts off the rest of the reinforcements, and here comes the rest of the damage. Syndra rejoins the fight. There's no Shyvana. She's been killed off, and it's going to be 4 bodies for 2. Blue team, they won this team fight. Even though it looked like Irelia had a pretty promising ultimate there. Oh, Ezreal's going to come in for the hero play. His GA gets proc, but he does kill off the Syndra. Is it going to be enough? The barrel, it gets mistimed, and everybody dies. Ezreal actually cleans up too. Oh, the mistimed barrel is simply unfortunate. Teleport is ready from the Irelia. She's up in 23 seconds. I'm pretty sure this dragon will still be alive in 23 seconds because Nautilus are just smacking away at it. Galio has his ultimate as well. They're pinging out their ultimates. They want to rejoin this fight as fast as they can. Nautilus knows he can't do this. He's resetting. But that means red team, they're going to swoop in and take the soul. Karma is going to come back in to re-secure the vision, cleaning out everything. They know that red team probably beats them to the punch here. But blue team, they can't let this soul go. They're tunneling so hard on it, and here comes the Nocturne. He lands a Paranoia. He's gonna fear away the Karma. He's gonna immediately back off now that the Shyvana has joined the fight. Cannon Barrage gets dropped. It might dissuade some fighters. 34 minutes in. It's 29 to 29. It's a perfectly even. Whoever gets this Drake might change the course of the game. If red team gets this dragon, they have a legitimate chance of winning this game. And there's the catch onto the Nautilus. The Vladimir, he's been caught out. He's not health. The Chemo Plague doesn't heal him in time. He gets killed off. And Shyvana makes it happen with the Flame Breath. Going to pick off the melee. And now this is gonna be a 5v4. I got spoiled with the steal. Oh, the Nocturne does come in to steal this. Yes, I was like a minute later or so on this replay. I probably should fast forward. He will be killed off here, but he denies the soul. And that was like, what, a 4 or 5 minute long dragon dance? Baron is in his pit, dying of loneliness, and all 10 players fighting over a single dragon. But it seems like right now, red team, they have to take it to Baron. And because I got that PM, I'm going to assume I'm behind live, so I'm going to fast forward a bit. GP going to try to scare them off Baron. I don't think it's happening. Oh wait, the fight does happen. Shyvana will kill out Baron Nashor, and here comes the fight. It's been engaged. Syndra needs to try to get out. Zhanyas once again from the Shyvana, gonna buy herself some time, but it's not gonna be enough. She gets killed out here by the Syndra, and here comes the gangplank. He needs to blast cone his way out. Yes, he does save himself. Shyvana has been killed off, and Syndra is on her way back home. The rest of red team gonna be channeling recall. Can the Vladimir stop anyone? No, he can't. All of them make it back home. We'll fast forward once again to jump back into live. Still a dead even game. 36 minutes in. Who can say who's gonna win this game, man? They staved off the soul. They're still in it. It's 31 to 32. Honestly, it's anybody's game. The kills no longer matter. Gold no longer matters. Both teams are essentially evenly matched with each other in these fights. However, the Vladimir, a little bit lacking on the power department. He really needs his Death Cap or a Spellbinder or anything to elevate his burst. Because in these fights, he is just not outputting enough for someone who supposedly should be heavily scaled up now. Cannon Barrage will land with the Galio. It's gonna be a catch, but it's a 1-for-1. It would have been disastrous if Dragon was on the table, but it is not. Luckily for blue team, they trade that 1-for-1. Nocturne gets exchanged for the Galio. It's a favorable exchange here for red team. The jungler being lost is a big deal. Paranoia is a huge bulk of blue team's engage, and now they might find this push very awkward into a Baron buff. They are just going to try to secure some vision instead. No, seriously though, Vladimir needs some farm. Just send them off to the silent for a while. Like, yeah, you have to 5v5, but he's just not a champion right now. He needs to be 16 here at least. If he doesn't have a heavy hitting AP item, this is why Vladimir's don't buy Visage, because it delays the rest of your power spikes way too much. He needs to have a Death Cap here to really be competitive, or even Spellbinder if he wants to go even more aggressive. But what he has now is just nothing. A single Spirit Visage as a standalone item is a pretty bad tank item, all things considered. It's all about how much damage you can put out. And right now, the Vladimir doesn't output anything, so he can offset it by getting rank 3 Chemo Plague, which does kind of make up for it, but it's not nearly the same effect. Nocturne going to go for another solo catch up top against the Irelia, but this might be a fight he probably can't win. The Sterak's Gauge, yep, called it. That's not a fight he can really win against the Irel. Yeah, like the CC is there, but if you can't do enough damage to her during the stun, she is gonna turn and kill you off. And there it is, the Nocturne suiciding in, essentially. I can't tell what Gary's doing anymore. Neither can I. I mean, I called the outcome of that fight. I can't believe he opted into it. The Flame Breast is gonna snipe out the Shyvana yet again. Just not a good friend here to the big dragon, and suddenly blue team loses the fight. And that, after so long, so many trifling team fights, it seems like the outcome is clear. They will lose this Dragon Soul. Blue team, they need to try to push out now. No, red team, don't reset. Go camp the pit. Go camp the pit. You know that's what you have to do. You know you gotta camp the pit. You have to. You just have to. Well, red team reset. That's a mistake. They've already got blue team pushed into the base. They have the inside track. They can go to the Drake pit. Blue team can't assemble in time. They don't have a Syndra. But now both teams are actually surprisingly on equal footing as they all make their way back to the Dragon Pit. As the Infernal Drake will spawn, he's looking deliciously juicy. He's going to be killed out here by somebody. Vladimir gets lit on fire and he has to make his way out. Red team, they've started it. They're gonna take it too. There's no contest coming out. Is there gonna be? No, there is not. Shyvana claims the Inferno Soul, but here comes the team fight. It's gonna be forced out by the Nocturne, and the Vladimir coming to the side. He can't do anything. He's been zoned out. The Nocturne is just gonna be killed off here by the red team. They claimed the Inferno Soul. They got their win condition, and now they need to play through it. The Nocturne, I'm gonna call it, through the game. Going for that solo up catch up top against the Irel. You have to identify, just based off the items that each person has, you can't kill the Irel. You could, like, a reasonable person, at least I like to think I'm reasonable, could tell the outcome of that fight as soon as you look at it. No, Irel's definitely gonna kill Nocturne. But I can't believe he actually opted into that fight. It seemed closer than it was because he does output a surprising amount of damage, but a lot of it is the lethality. It's upfront burst. Once your upfront burst runs out and your CC wears down, Irelia's just gonna kill you. That is a suicide move coming out from the Shyvana. But here comes the Galio wreaking havoc in the back line. The GP is gonna be forced out, but he burns to death before he can make it home. Vladimir is gonna be the next victim here. The Zayas, very ill-timed and very unfortunate. That's gonna be 3 bodies dead at the door. And now it's just Syndra and Nocturne. They have to stay off a massive push coming out here from red team. A beautiful 3-man stun. Unfortunately, all of her friends are dead, so there is no following up on that play. The red team, they're not going to stop until they ransacked everything. Here they come to bot lane, bringing their punishment to the next inhibitor. They're going to get this essentially without the contest as well. Syndra trying to land some poke. She needs to make this happen. But can she right now? The GA on Ezreal means that he cannot be bursted down. It's affording him quite a bit of safety. Syndra lands the ball. It's going to shove it into his face. That's going to force him back, but red team leaves this happy. They have taken 2 inhibitors off a 1 team fight. Now they resoundingly have the gold lead, which I haven't checked in a while. But it's to be expected when blue team honestly played a really sloppy mid-late transition. And the most painful part about all this is the Nocturne that continuously suicides in to kill a support for no reason. That's death. You can't make that play. You must know you cannot 1v1 Irelia. She's one of the strongest 1v1 champions in the game. You must realize this. And unfortunately, that little maneuver by the Nocturne might be the last thing that blue team gets to do before the game just collapses in front of their face. And I'm just gonna say it right here. A lot of these mid-late transition misplays have been caused by the Nocturne going for solo paranoia plays. Paranoia is such an intensely powerful team fighting tool that using it for a solo catch out is costly. It's heavily costly. That is simply not how you play that champion. The red team is going to capitalize on that folly and take the win in this very close and hard fought match.